class, we had a wonderful 15th August celebration, Independence Day celebration in the assembly, class assembly, as well as on actual 15th of August, seeing your videos, seeing your performances, seeing your devotion to the country. It was really, really good to see you, okay? That's how step by step, small step we take, and then we can become very confident afterwards. All right, children? So whenever you get this kind of opportunity, don't miss it. All right, so it's good that you took part in it. So children, in the last class, I have told you that we will be continuing in the next class interrogative sentences, okay? And then last week, of course, we discussed on what interrogative sentences are. And then we also came to know that how can we form this interrogative sentences or change from other sentences to interrogative sentences. Okay, so now we will proceed on, because we had last week we had done the class. Now today maybe more of this we will discuss in this examples. All right, so we'll proceed. See, interrogative sentences. What is the function of the interrogative sentences? To ask questions. So, okay, interrogative sentences ask questions. Okay. Questions are asked using WH words. WH words, that means who, what, why, where, when. Okay, so this WH words means whatever. Okay, start with W and H. Okay, so you can even add how. Okay, and all the rest. All right, so make sure that WH words are the words that begin with either W or H. Okay, that ask the questions. Remember that. Okay, and then secondly, we can also make the questions using the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. Okay, so these auxiliary verbs we get in the form of be, do, or have. Be, do, or have. Okay, so see that. Be form, as I had last week when I did the revision with you, I was go back to the page again and again. Why? Because it's very important for you, okay, to know, okay, this, because these are the base, and then you need to different forms in the different tenses that we using. Okay, auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. Okay, there are modal verbs also which you will be using, of course, like can, may, okay, might, okay, all this will, okay, would, all this you will be using, but these are also, those are also helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Okay, so please remember. So auxiliary verbs mainly for forming the questions today we're doing this. Okay, be form, do form, and have form. Okay, so be form you have is, am, are. Okay, and the past tense of is, am, are, as you know, is was, is, was. Okay, am of course will be was, and are were. So this is singular. Okay, singular, and then where are plural, and where in the past plural singular is was. Okay, so please remember this. And then you have be, do verb. Okay, so do verb, you have the form, you will be using either does or. So do, does, you will be using for the singular subject. Okay, he, she, it. Okay, or the singular noun. All right, pronoun. Okay, so remember that we will be using this does and don't. Does is for singular and don't for plural. I don't talk to him. Okay? You don't hear me sometimes. Okay? So do with the plural subject. Okay? Likewise, didn't is the past form. Past form of do or don't. Didn't is the past form. So whenever you use did, you are making the past tense in the sentences. All right. So past form of this is the present form, do, does and don't, and then negative. Okay, this is negative. So doesn't is negative. Do and don't is negative. Okay, so doesn't and don't. I am not written negative here. Okay, only for the plural I have written. We can even write doesn't. All right, and then didn't is the past form. So whenever you use did, is already you made past, so you cannot use the other verb in the past tense in the sentence. All right, and then have verb. Okay, so have form has either has or have. Has in the singular. Okay, it goes with the singular subject. Okay, and then have goes with plural. Okay, plural or the first person. I have, you have, they have, teachers have, parents have. Okay, so with the plural. Whereas this has is with singular. Okay, Rajkumar uncle has. Okay, a nice mobile. All right, or Ankit has a toy. All right, so this has will go with singular subject and have will go with plural. And remember, for the past, for both has and have, you don't have to worry, only one. Okay, the is had. Okay, had is the past form. So remember this in order to make questions. Okay, interrogative sentences. So we will be using the verbs, auxiliary verbs of be, do, and have. Even if models are being used, so we can, of course, models also can be used. It depends on the sentences whether we have it or not. All right. So will you come with me? So I'm using the modal verb. See, will. Okay. So may I out? So I'm asking a question. So I'm using the modal may. Okay, so this way auxiliary verbs, because modals are also auxiliary verbs, helping verbs. So we use them to form the question if we are not using WH words. Who, what, why, where, how. If we are not using these, we will be using auxiliary verbs in the form of be, do, or have, or the modal verbs. Okay, children? So with this, we proceed with the sentences. Okay, some of the sentences. See how to do it. Change into interrogative. See, the statements have been given to you. Now you have to change this into interrogative. That means you have to turn it into a question form. All right. Now, sentence 1 is Amritval is leaving today for a conference. Okay, so Amritval is leaving today for a conference. So it is an assertive sentence. Okay, so what you have to do is change into interrogative. So remember that you have to change into interrogative. Now we are not going to use WH, we are going to focus on starting with auxiliary verbs. Okay, so now how can you make this question, okay, this statement a question? Now you check the words here, see, Amritvali is leaving, so is, see, the auxiliary verb of be form is, see, Amritvali is a singular subject. Okay, this is subject, verb is leaving. Okay, is going today for a conference. All right. So here, this helping verb is. So we will take this is to form this auxiliary verb to form a question. Now we will see. We'll change its placement. Okay. Now we see. Say is, because we are using auxiliary verb to ask questions. So since the verb here the verb given is used as is, so we will use this, okay, as a starter of the question. Okay, so is now subject. All right, so we are reversing the place. Okay, is now Amrit Ali living today for a conference. Okay, so now up to here I have done it. See, is. So I have used the auxiliary verb is. Amrit Bali learning, leaving today for a conference. So I put full stop here. So should I? Did I make? Of course, I used the auxiliary verb, but did I make it a question? Is my question complete? Is my question complete? No, my question is not complete, because when I make questions, I need to use the punctuation mark, one of the punctuation marks. So which one? Question mark. Okay, so if I leave this with full stop, I did not change it into interrogative. I left as it is. Just I changed the place of the verb and the subject. I reversed the place. Okay, but if I don't keep it question here, put a question mark here, what happens? My work is incomplete. So instead of full stop, I need to make it a question mark, which is very, very important. Children, it's very important. Don't forget, whenever you are asked to change into interrogative, any form of sentences, assertive, okay, exclamatory, any form, the imperative, any form you need to change into interrogative, the question mark has to be there. It's very important. Okay, so I hope you understood the sentence one. Now moving on to sentence two. Moving on to sentence two. Early ate the last donut. So all of us like donut, no? Chocolate donut, coconut donut, isn't it? Okay, so Ernie here, Ernie ate the last donut. Now we have to see the verb here. Okay, so the verb is Ernie. Okay, the subject Ernie ate. Okay, Ernie ate the last donut. Okay, so here the verb is in the past tense. Okay, so I cannot make the question with this word now. Ate Ernie the last donut? Ate Ernie the last donut? So I cannot make it like that. Okay, so I need the help of the auxiliary verb to form the question. So since this is in the past tense and this subject is third person, okay, earning, third person singular, and then ate is the verb here. It's in the past tense. Now I need to check what I need to use for the past form of the auxiliary verb for the singular subject. So I have does, I have don't, okay, and of course don't will not go, do will not go, because it is I can use only that for the plural subject or the first person. Okay, so since I cannot use do, so I need to use does. But this is in the past form, so the past tense of does would be did. Okay, so instead of this past tense, I will be using did auxiliary verb. Okay, and I use subject early, And since I have already used did as auxiliary verb, again I cannot use ate here. So what I need to do, I need to use verb 1, base form. Okay, present form of the verb with did. So what is the present form of ate? Are you saying eat? Yeah. Eat. Okay. So did Ernie eat the last do not? Okay. Did Ernie eat the last do not? N-U-T. Okay. So should I leave like that here? No. So I need to put the question mark. That only I have changed this statement into question. Okay. Now remember, whenever I use did as past tense as the auxiliary verb, okay, did, I should not be using the past again here. I need to use verb 1. This is verb 2. Ate, verb 2, past. Present is eat, verb 1. So with did, always verb 1. Did go, did come, did eat, did cry, did jump, did sing. Alright, so that way. So don't use past tense along with past did here. Okay? So I hope this is also clear to you. Now let's move on to number 3 now. Number 3. Stella, okay, girl, only one here, okay? There are no Stellas here, only one Stella, singular subject. Stella can. So I was telling you about the modal. So can, okay? Stella can understand why he is upset. So your affirmative sentence is Stella can understand why he is upset. Now we'll first underline the verb, okay, so that it will be easy for us to make the question. All right. So now Stella can is a modal is there as a helping verb, as auxiliary verb. Can. Okay. Understand what now subject. So now I will reverse the place. So this will go here, and this verb can come here, and then subject can go in its place, okay, in order to make it into question, okay. So now I need not change anything here. So the modal is there, okay. So I will be using that. Can Stella subject. And I should remember that since this is proper noun, I need to write this one in capital letter. Always proper nouns in the capital letter. Okay? So can Stella, now my another verb will come, okay? Can understand. So can Stella understand? Why he is upset. Okay, I just marked full stop. So this will make my sentence incomplete, interrogative incomplete. So I will have to change my full stop into question. Can Stella understand? Okay, understand why he is upset. Okay, so I hope you understood how to change the assertive sentences into question with the auxiliary verb. Okay, so if the auxiliary, whatever the auxiliary, the verb is, you have accordingly used verb in that tense, whatever. If it is present, leave it as present. If it is past, turn it, use did. Use did if there is a simple past verb. Okay. For example, in this ate, simple past, isn't it? So I had to change it into simple present with the helping verb didn't. Okay, or did. or didn't if it is negative. If it is not negative, and then only did I will be using. All right. So negative, didn't. So here is a modal can. Okay, is also a helping verb. So with this help, I'm using turning it this sentence into interrogative. Can Stella understand why he is upset? All right. So this is into interrogative, statement into interrogative, sentence, affirmative sentence into interrogative. Now we have type 2. Type 2. Now type 2 is the same. Now you just change it. Okay, just change it. The question into statement. Okay, now change into statement now. So your questions have been given to you. You change that into statements. Okay, affirmative sentences. Statements are affirmative sentences that describe something, tells about something. Okay, so but doesn't ask the question. Okay, now change into statements. Okay, affirmative sentences. Now that means this is the question. Okay, will he take measures to improve the situation? Will he measures to improve the situation? Is the question. Now what you have to do? Change into statements. Into statements. Affirmative sentence. Now what will you do? When you in the affirmative sentences into question, what you did? Now here you change it into affirmative sentence. What will you do? Statement. What? Again, what you did? Reversing the place, the subject and the, isn't it? So now see, it is starting with auxiliary verb will. Okay, and then subject he. Okay, now I will reverse the place. He will take, okay, he will take measures to improve the situation. Okay, here when we say I change the subject. So here the auxiliary verb here followed by the subject. See, he will take measures to improve the situations. Is enough. So now sentence 2. Sentence 2. Did the dietitian tell us to add apple to the cereals? The question is now. See, the past tense is being used. See, in this question, did. Okay, the subject is dietitian. Okay, one who prescribes, gives you diet, what to eat, what not to eat, what to add to your food, what to reduce from your food. Okay, so for a healthy living, if you go to dietitian and they will just eat this, eat that, they'll give you diet plan and all, isn't it? So now here is the question: did the dietitian tell us to add apple to the cereal? Cereal is some kind of food like we eat oats, isn't it? Okay, and there are other varieties of food we have. Okay, and then even you use cornflakes, chocos, isn't it, for your breakfast? Okay, so now here in the question, did. So it's already past. So did makes the sentence past. See, verb past. Okay, did the dietitian tell us? Now see, with did, tell, present. Okay, did, tell. So there is no told. Okay, if in this question, if I had used told, it would have been wrong because did makes the verb past. Okay, the sentence past. So, did the dietitian tell us to add apple to the cereal to make it more what? Delicious. All right, or healthy. Okay, now, so what will I do to make it a statement? So, now I will be using the subject first, the dietitian. The dietitian. Now tell. Did, tell is there. So if I did not use, when I to make a question only, I am using did, past form. Okay. It is a nice statement, so I will not be using it. I will straight away use the verb to past form of the verb. Okay. So tell, instead of did tell, I will be using told. Okay. Told. So the remaining as it is. See, the dietitian told us to add apple to the cereals. Got it? It's not that complicated, isn't it? So only thing is you need to know the auxiliary verbs, the form of auxiliary verbs, and be form, do form, and have, and okay, their forms is and are, and then in the past is and are, and in the negative isn't, wasn't, aren't, weren't, that you need to know, okay? So contracted form. Weren't is were not. Aren't, aren't. Isn't, is not. Okay? So and then do form, okay? You need to remember do form does, don't. Singular, plural. Okay? So does, doesn't in the negative, and don't, of course it's a negative form, okay? Don't. Okay? Does, doesn't, don't is there, do, don't, okay? And then didn't is past for both of these is didn't. Okay? So, and have, you have form of verb, so you use only two for singular and plural subject, has or have, and hasn't and haven't negative form, okay, of this, okay, not, has not, have not, okay. So in the contracted form is hasn't and haven't, and then past tense for both of these is had, okay, or hadn't if it is negative. All right, had or hadn't. All right, so if you remember these, and if you read your statement properly and see the subject and the verb, okay, and that subject whether it is singular or plural, and the verb whether it is the action was done in the past, okay, so or future or present, you have to see that. Accordingly, you use the can with the past form of did if it is verb if it is simple past, verb simple past. All right, children. So it's not that complicated. It's easy. Only what you need to know is, like last time in the class, I told go back to that page, go back to that page, and you were often going back, referring the page back when I took the revision of the material for the test, isn't it? So the same way, please, children, if you don't understand anything, it's better you go back to the lesson where there is a base form and from where you can pick up and where you can understand. Okay, children, so it's don't take it panicky, it's easy, so you can do it. All right, you have been doing it, and of course you can do it for this day, and I'm sure that you are capable of. Okay, the only thing is you need to practice. All right, keep on practicing, children. It's when you practice only, the things will be easier for you. Okay, when you teach others, it is a kind of practice for you. When you make the into sentences, you use often in your own sentences, then what happens, you will understand it more. All right, children. So I'm that you'll be doing going through the lesson. Okay, and I'll be giving you the assignment in the assignment the slot. Please check that one. All right. Have Have a nice day. All right? Okay, network problem, network issue.